Hey, I'm back for a new Rust Kata. I'm going to do a Rust Kata again. I'm on Code Wars, just the home page, just picking the random kata it's suggesting to me. So yeah, I'll click it and let's get going. So I'll read the problem statement first and then think about it. So the maximum sum subarray problem consists in finding the maximum sum of a contiguous subsequence in an array or list of integers. The example contains some negative and positive integers in an array. Easy case is when the list is made up of only positive numbers and the maximum sum is the sum of the whole array. If the list is made up of only negative numbers, return 0 instead. Yeah, I guess no elements is 0. Empty list is considered to have 0 greatest sum. Note that the empty list or array is also a valid sublist and subarray. Yeah, okay. So I guess a simple approach to this would be starting with every number and then calculating the sum of one element, two elements, three elements, four elements, and so on and so forth. And then take the maximum sum out of that. Then we'll start again with the second number and do the same. One element, two elements, and so on and so forth. And then, yeah, just compare all of them, keep the maximum sum. So let's start right away. We have a sequence. We can have a, let's mute maximum equals, well, let's say 0, and then we can have maybe the index where we found the maximum equals, yeah, let's start with I guess 0 as well, and then the third one is the array length. So the length of the actual array containing the sum, and this being 0 makes it this being 0 makes it so that the initial condition is true, like a length of 0 will have the maximum 0, so it's fine to return. And yeah, so once we have these variables, what we can do is just loop, right? For a and for I, in we'll start at 0 and then we'll go to sec -1, sec dot length -1, and then for each of these we'll do for j in we want the final index, the end index, so from I, and again sequence dot length -1, and then we'll say if we have to build the sum there. Build sum, we'll pass the sequence, we'll pass the start and the end. Start is a usize, the end is a usize, and we'll return a sum of i32. So let me sum equals 0. And there we'll say I'll finish the implementation of that, calculate and return sum, right? And in there we're going to call the build sum method with the sequence I as the start and j as the end. Let sum equals if sum, we can just use maximum, but it's fine. If sum is more than maximum, we'll set our three variables. Maximum is now sum, maximum index is now I, and the length is j minus I. That sounds about right. And I don't know why we actually care about this. We probably don't. Yeah, no, we don't need to return the whole array, we just need to return the sum. So let's just keep that. And then we'll do sum, no, maximum at the end, and this should be it. So now we just need to do this part, where we actually calculate the sum. So for I in start end, sum equals sum plus sequence I. If start equals end, we won't do one iteration of the loop, so we'll just return 0, that's fine. And if it's one or more, we'll do this. We'll calculate the actual sum, so we can return sum at the end. One more thing I thought about is if an array starts with a negative number, it's not going to be the maximum sum. You can see that if the sum starts with a minus, minus 2 plus 1 is always going to be less than just 1. And if it's only negative numbers in the array, same rule applies, right? We don't want to start with a negative number. So I guess it's an edge case, but might make the calculation a bit faster. We can exclude some other stuff that way, but I think this is good enough for a first try. So if sequence of I less than 0, we'll continue. And let's see if it compiles. Test. Ooh. So left is 0, right is 11. I don't know which is which. Is mine 0 or mine 11? Let's see. Mine is 9 and 9. So mine is the left one. If sum is more than maximum, maximum equals sum, and we return the maximum. Okay, let's remove this for now, while oh, this is it. It was a typo there. I instead of 1 instead of I. Let's put the rule back. Test. No. Okay, let's do it again. I is from 0, the first index in the array, and sequence.length minus 1. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I is going to be 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, because the length is 4. I'm talking about the index every time. And then j starts from I and goes again up to the length. So I guess the problem is there. If start equals end, we want to return. Yeah, we want to include the end. So let's say we have just one thing. So start is, for example, 0, end is 0. We do want to include this. I'm not sure. This seems wrong. If I do n plus 1, oh, is it not included? Yeah, I think we have to remove the minus 1s there. Yeah, so the end is not included, so if it's 0 and 0, it won't go in the loop, but we want it to always do start. So 0 to 1 is to do 0 and 1. So we need to plus 1 everything. So let's submit the attempt. It does look correct to me, so we'll see. Yeah, perfect.